What's our alternative? Pat, you're telling me the new six figures is $304,000. How do I do it? Do I get another job? Do I go back to school? Think about the richest person you know. Think about the wealthiest person you know. Think about that person. Somebody you've touched, somebody you've had dinner with. Think about the wealthiest person you know. Everybody thought about that person? I'm not talking Buffett, somebody you know. It's normally the person everybody talks behind that person's back. That's the person, okay? You know it, okay? Are you ready? Ask this question. Does that person have a job or are they an entrepreneur? What makes you think you're going to become wealthy having a job? You just answered it. So have you really positioned yourself to become wealthy? I don't know. But you just answered it yourself. I did not. Entrepreneur. Look at the reality of it. They tell us go to high school, have a 4.0 GPA, and go to college to get a degree because everything's going to be fine. 83% of college seniors today, according to LA Times, do not have a job lined up. 83% of college seniors today. Why do you want me to go to school and spend mommy and daddy's $200,000? Has it become a business, this college thing? Why even 4 years? Why can't I do college in a year and a half? I'm never going to use physics. My business has nothing to do with physics. Why are you wasting 3 months of my time and $700 for that class? But we're not questioning any of this stuff. We're just paying the money. Then that father, mother that spent $200,000 on the school and now is working until 73 years old. Because you think Social Security is going to be around. You think it's going to be around. Nope. I tell you it is going to be around, but let me tell you how they're going to have it be around. Here's how they're going to do it. Do you know originally when they chose the age for Social Security, do you know why they chose 65? Does anybody know this? Because no one lived to 65. Do you know this? When first Social Security was invented, it was because 65, because no one lives to that age. Do you know what they're going to do? You're going to see Social Security will be around, but benefits will start at 80 years old. You'll see it. And their government's going to say, we told you we're never going to go away with it, but it starts at 80. How smart is that, right? 66% of Americans make less than $41,000 per year. 65% of all new net jobs are not created by the government or these big Wall Street corporations. They're created by small businesses since 1995. Who's talking about that? Who's getting up on TV saying, I'm running for presidency, we need more entrepreneurs. We need more. When's the last time you saw a governor, senator, president get up on TV and say, American people, please start reading these 5 books on how to start a business and how to manage your own finances? When's the last time we had that? Why isn't any politician recommending books for us to read on getting our finances in order? Why don't they tell us that? I don't understand that concept. Educate us and we'll be free. So what is an entrepreneur? In simple words, it's a risk taker. But let me skip this here. Where did it all begin? Columbus comes to America. He was the first entrepreneur to make it here to the New World, according to what history tells us. His mission was to find a way to trade for spices. George Washington was an entrepreneur, manufactured 2 products in his crop, flour and distilled whiskey. Michigan was the first university to offer a course in entrepreneurism. Do you know how many universities are teaching classes to become an entrepreneur today? Hundreds. Do you know why? People are starting to figure it out. They're starting to figure it out. You know what generation is really figuring it out? It's so interesting to me. It's boomers. Do you know why boomers are figuring it out? Because they have the most experience in the workforce and they know it doesn't work anymore. And millennials and Gen Xers are not asking anything, questioning anything. They're just doing what boomers did. They're going and getting a job. They're not realizing the original reason why 9-to-5 job was created. Do you know originally, you know this 9-to-5 is only an 80-year period thing. Anyone knows this? Like 9-to-5 has not been around for thousands of years. It's only 80 years old. Do you know why we agreed to work 9-to-5? Why 9-to-5? Do you know why we agreed to work that 9-to-5? Do you know why?
Daylight hours.
Daylight hours. And do you know who invented 9-to-5? What was the company that invented 9-to-5? You should know it. You know it. Ford Motor Company. At that time, Ford was a godfather of companies in Detroit. Whatever they did, everybody else did. So here's how it was. Hey, Vicky, I would like to have you give 30 years of your life to my company, Ford Motor Company. And Vicky says what? She goes like this, and she says what? Your question would be what? What do I get for giving you 30 years? And I said, I'm sorry, I'm Ford. She says, I'm sorry. What am I going to get for my 30 years? I guess that's a fair question. Okay. You give me 30 years of your life, staying with me at the company, I'm going to give you a 30-year pension plan. Wait a minute. So I work for you 30 years, then you're going to give me my income? I am. Fair deal. Boom, we shake hands. Good negotiation. Do you realize that's why we agreed to do this? Raise your hand if you got a pension plan. Watch this. Watch this. No, raise your hand up high if you got a pension plan from your company. Look at the age of people that raise their hands. You don't see 35-year-olds. They're clueless about it. Because companies said these 20, 30-year-olds know nothing about pension plans, cancel the whole thing. They won't question it. They'll still come and work for us, and we don't even need to give them a pension plan. And people are still doing it. And no one's talking about this. Only people raise their hand that have pension plans mid-40s and up. Because you were in that era. It's gone. We used to have 134,000 pension plans in 1985. We got barely 20, 30,000 today. Because they don't have to offer it to you and I. Because millennials are not questioning it anymore. They're just following. I go work 9 to 5. My mommy and daddy did it. And the system loves it, that no one questions it. People even get up and walk out. What the hell are we talking about at this meeting? I thought this was an entrepreneur meeting. So, why do you think there aren't more entrepreneurs in America? Folks, how many of you have thought about starting your own business? Raise your hand. What is the number one reason why most of us don't start a business? Watch the answer. Fear. We're afraid. I've never done it before. I can't do it. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have the education. I don't have the support. I don't have the idea. I don't know how. Watch this though. Why are the reasons why most entrepreneurs become entrepreneurs? Why do you think they do? See, I think there's two reasons. One is the common reasons. The other one is the deeper reasons. Let me speak to you about the common reasons. Everyone knows the common reasons. The common reasons are what? Control of time. I want to make more money. Tax benefits. Family business. This one's very interesting. Do you know for years we've been told husband and wife shouldn't what? Work together. Now, who said that in the first place? I would love to meet that guy. Where now 300 million of us are saying that. Check this out. How has it worked? A husband works in a place for 10 hours with a bunch of other people, potential to meet new people. Wife goes and works in a new place for 10 hours. They are growing what? 10 years later, you're sitting at dinner and saying, why did I marry you? I don't love her anymore. I think we're disconnected. 66% of marriages end up at a divorce. Do we ask why? Do you realize for thousands of years we didn't have any divorces? Why? Husband and wife ran a business together. We built something what? Together. So I'm seeing you every day. I'm with you every day. Baby, we're building something together. So at night, hey, remember that one thing that we need to work on, baby? You need to call Joey in the morning. I will. Hey, you got to get the son to do it. Because we're building something together. So anytime husband and wife is growing something together, man, that's exciting. We're not doing that no more because that one guy, they say husband and wife shouldn't work together. Who is they? I haven't met they yet, right? But they say that. They say that, right? Travel. Did you know 54% of Americans have never traveled outside of the United States of America? 54% has never traveled. Some want to become entrepreneurs for retirement, recognition, nice car, big home, be their own boss. But let me tell you the deeper reason why people are becoming entrepreneurs. Do you realize in this room, we have Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, Asian. We have different nationalities. Christian, Jehovah, Seventh-day LD, LDS, Scientology, Muslim, Catholic, agnostic, atheist, Confucius, whatever you want to call it, right? Educated, uneducated, Laker fan, Clipper fans, doesn't matter. Every single one of us in this room, everybody in this room. Do you realize every single action we take, everything you and I do in our lives, every single action we take that action with an intention of getting one emotion. Anyone knows that one emotion we want? It's what? Happiness. 2007, when the market crashed, everybody lost their money. In 2008, you know what was the most common word used in books that were published in 2008? Happy. Because everybody wanted to find out, how in the heck do I become what? Happy. Do you know why all these beer companies do so well? Because they do commercial with, when you're drinking, you're with single girls, and it's just so, I'm going to drink, Coors Light because I'm happy when I drink Coors Light for 30 minutes. Do you know why the drug business does so well? Ooh, when you smoke, you're so happy. You drop this pill, you drink water, you get a massage. Ooh, it's great. You snort this thing, you feel like you're Superman for about 5 minutes. Everything's like happy, happy, happy. You're laughing about it. I'm sorry, we're all adults here. It's not like none of you guys haven't seen pot ecstasy or cocaine. I mean, it's not like at the time we hit 18 nowadays in America, I'm sorry, we see a lot of weird things today. Your kids see things at 10 years old we used to see at 18 years old. So, how do you judge happiness? It took me a long time to question this. I decided judging happiness on the lifespan of that feeling of happiness. This is 30 minutes. This is very short. All of those are short. The biggest, long-lasting happiness feelings are all natural. Every one of them are natural. They're all natural highs. All of them. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. Do you know everybody here wants to be fulfilled? Do you know everybody here wants to live a meaningful life? We may disagree on a lot of things. There isn't a single soul here who doesn't want to live a meaningful life. Any parents in the room, raise your hand if you got kids. Hey, what do you and I want our kids to say about us when we die? Honestly. That they like us? You know they're going to say stuff about us when we're dead that they never said when we're alive. Yes? Look, some of us don't have living parents and we wish we had 5 minutes with them to tell them some stuff we didn't say. None of us are perfect. But you know what's going to happen? We'll be in heaven and we're going to go and say, hey God, I cleaned that cloud. Am I cool to check out my kids real quick? You cleaned the good. I cleaned the. I'm telling you, the cloud is clean. Okay, go ahead. We're good? Okay, good. Because you know, I got good technology up there, right? So I'm going to come, I'm going to say, there's my boy. See how he's doing? Okay. He's happy. Okay. He's spending some time with his wife right now. Let me cover this up. This is a little awkward. You're going to step away. It's kind of weird. You come back. Okay, this is, and you open up the clouds, and then boom. He's in the car by himself, and he's got his hands and his head on the steering wheel, and he's just going like this. And you're saying, why is he doing that? And you can hear his voice. Dad, I miss you, Dad. Mom, I need you right now, Mom. Marriage is a mess. I have no clue what to do. I haven't told Mary. I don't know how to pay my mortgage payment. You taught me so much about life. I wish you were here with me. I wish I could have 5 more minutes with you to tell you how much I love you. I am the man, the woman I am today because of you. I miss you, Mom. I miss you, Dad. I love you so much. I got 2 kids, man. They're only 3 and 22 months. I melt thinking about this. And I know you do as well as parents. Because everybody wants to live a flippin' meaningful life. Everybody does. We may be different, but we want to make an impact with our lives. And you know how we do it? You ever met bitter people? Anybody met bitter, depressed people? Do you ever wonder why some of us sometimes are so bitter and depressed? I used to want to find out what causes people to be lazy until I figured out why people are lazy. I wanted to find out at one point, why am I so lazy when I was a kid? Do you know, it's a very simple research. Does anybody know what causes laziness? A boring life. Boredom is the seed of laziness. When we watch a boring movie, what happens to us? We fall asleep. When you watch an exciting movie, what happens to us? We don't fall asleep. That's your life. If your life is boring, you're lazy. If your life doesn't have a lot of action, you don't have a lot of energy. And I saw that in my life. But you know what causes bitterness and what causes depression? You ever met bitter people that everything to them is like, they're so bitter to be around? Do you know what it is? Let me tell you what causes happiness and what causes bitterness. And here's all it is. People who no longer create anything are depressed and bitter. And people who continuously create, they're happy. You want me to give you an example? My mom and dad divorced in 1989. 20 years they didn't see each other. My mom told me I will never be in the same room with your dad. My dad said I will never see your mom ever again. 20 years I prayed. I wanted to have them to be in the same room together. 20 years later they did. You know why? Because my niece was born. My sister created a child. When she created that child, everybody showed up. And everybody was happy. My mom and dad talked to each other with no problems. How many times have you seen grandkids bring families together? Anybody's ever seen grandkids, what they do to a family? Everyone shows up out of nowhere. If we don't create, we're not happy. You see people who are bitter, make a list of what they've been creating. Nothing. They're not happy. They don't have happiness. There's not fulfillment there. Anybody's ever bought anything from IKEA? You ever bought anything from IKEA? Do Do you ever realize, like afterwards, what the heck was I thinking about going to this IKEA? My wife, I come home, babe. Yeah, baby. See that box? Yeah, baby, what's your point with the box? You know, when we said we're going to make that shelf, we're going to make that little cabinet together today, babe. Babe, we never make it together. You just hand me the screwdriver, baby. I mean, that's not making it together. So then you go over there, you're all ticked off. Man, you know what I'm talking about, guys. So we go over there, we're like this, talking behind, you know, under saying stuff. And you look at the box, 198 parts, and you open the manual, it's in French. I don't speak French, like give me an English manual. And you start building this thing, right? And you're so furious. And you're getting close to what? Finishing it. And then your masterpiece is done. And then your parents show up. Hey, Mom, I created that thing. I am the creator of that thing. Son, don't touch it. I created it. Do not touch it. Hey, John, you know that thing right there? I created it. I did it. IKEA has become a multi-billion-dollar company because they figured out people become happy when they create things. Sudoku game is good because when you create and finish the diabolic formula, whatever it is, you're all happy. You know what I'm talking about? Puzzles, we create, we're happy. But those are just actions that don't make you money. Another thing we've realized we need is a community. We need to be part of a community. You know who learned that? Instagram, Facebook. You know what we do nowadays? Here's what we do. Hey, look, give me the duck lips. Boom! We took the picture. You saw them post on Instagram. Hashtag, hashtag. Okay, great. That's a good pic, man. It was a good bet. It's going to blow up. Watch. They say 150 times a day we look at this thing. 150 times a day. So we go, oh, bro, 17 likes in 4 minutes. Woo! It's good. It's good. Oh, my God. This is good. Oh. So you walk around. I'm going to check it again. 34. We're on track for having the best one. My best one is 68. 69 likes. Woo! Instagram. How come Jerry didn't like the picture? How weird are we, right? Because we need a community. You know what's the last one? This is why Russian Empire failed miserably and the country finally went to Gorbachev and said, get the heck out of here. Communism doesn't work. Do you know why it doesn't work? As much as they're trying to convince Americans it works. Do you know why it doesn't work? Because we love having a sense of ownership. We have to have ownership. When anybody's been to a game and your kid scores a touchdown, what does a parent typically do? Hey, I'm sorry, did you see that? That's my boy. So he runs like his daddy. He's kind of like, he's an athlete like his father. How are you, sir? I know I kind of gained weight, but that was me 32 years ago. Son, I'm proud of you, buddy. That's my son. Hey, whose wife is this? It's my wife. Why are you looking at her? It's my wife. Look at my wife. It's my wife. My wife. Whose husband is that? It's my husband? Don't you be looking at my husband over there. I'm telling you, it's my husband right there, okay? Get your eyes off her. Hey, whose lawn is it? Get off my lawn. Whose house is this? Whose car is this? Mine. You know why? Because we need to have a sense of ownership. Do you know what's crazy? Let me tell you what's crazy. Create community sense of ownership is all the activities that create happiness, fulfillment, and meaningful life. Do you know all entrepreneurs do all day long is create, they're part of a community, and they own their business. That's why they're so happy. How many of you guys have a friend that invited you to this meeting here today, and you've said this line to him or other people? Man, he's changed. He's crazy. Why is he so excited? It's as if he's joined a cult. Who said that? They haven't. All entrepreneurs are like that. It's not just us. Go to entrepreneur events. It's because they create, they're part of a community, and they own their business. That's why they're happy, and that's why most people who have jobs, they don't feel that way. Because you're not. You're just taking orders. You're just doing a regular job, and it doesn't create fulfillment. And people are starting to figure this out. So anybody want to do a quick DNA test to see if you have what it takes to become an entrepreneur? Anybody want to do that? Yes or no? You don't want to, we can skip this if you don't want to do that. Let's figure out real quick if you got what it takes to become an entrepreneur. You know you're an entrepreneur if you're restless and no achievement is ever enough. Who's like that? Who is, nothing you ever do is enough, right? Anybody a control freak? Any control freaks here? Hey, you know who the real control freaks are? Those who didn't raise their hands. You are the real control freaks. We know who you are. Give me a break. I'm not a control freak. You're a masochist. Any masochist in the room? Anybody knows what a masochist is? Any masochist in the room? Craziness, huh? That's entrepreneur sometimes. Anybody have a love-hate relationship with money? Raise your hand if you got a love-hate relationship with money. Anybody was a black sheep of the family? Maybe even a dropout? No black sheeps here, folks. This is the church-going people. Praise the Lord. God bless this group on this side. No black sheep. Raise your hand if you were a black sheep in a family and you did something that most people didn't do. We got a lot of them here. Anybody ever was called crazy? Did anyone say, you're crazy? Yes? Anyone somewhat introverted, but do you know what that means also? That's like people who have like 7 personalities and you have no idea who's showing up today. Okay, who are you today? Today she's pissed off at me. I can see the look on her face. No, today she's happy. That's good. We have the happy Sherry today. Anybody like sports? Anyone likes competition? If you like competition, you have the entrepreneur DNA in you. Anyone have an expensive taste? Who's got an expensive taste? You prefer Rolex over Folex? Yes? Is that okay with you? Yeah, you got some taste? Good at telling stories? Strong work ethic? Anyone ever sold anything as a kid? Raise your hand if you ever sold anything as a kid. Hey, why don't you tell us if anybody sold anything as a kid that was legal? Just tell us anything you sold. Some of you guys raise your hand one back down. What'd you sell as a kid? Chicharrones. Chicharrones, okay. What'd you sell over here as a kid? Princess House Crystal. That's unique. What'd you sell as a kid?
Lemonade.
Lemonade. Very cool. What'd you sell as a kid? I raised hamsters and sold them at the pet shop. You raised hamsters. Wow. Peter raised hamsters. It's like a lower version of Michael Vick type of a thing, right? I mean, that's like, man, raised ham. Were they like fighting each other, like bumping heads or no? Like, that's pretty intense stuff. Anybody else, any other creative things? Creative. Anybody else? Anybody want to tell us? Yeah, tell us back there. What'd you sell? Blue. Yeah. Anything you could sell. Orange. Your mom's gift baskets when she went to work. Did she know about it is the real question. She's smiling back there. Okay. Anyone very curious? Anyone's ever been called nosy? Listen, we got a lot of nosy people here in the room. Anyone ever been called nosy? Believe it or not, in family and friends, it's not good to be nosy, but in business, if you're nosy, it's very, very good. It makes you good money. Anyone somewhat shameless? You could care less what people think about you. Raise your hand. It's great to see all these embarrassing people here who are shameless, right? Shameless. You know what's crazy? Do you know how many people I see and say, that person would be incredible as an entrepreneur, but they'll probably never find out because they're never going to try to become an entrepreneur. That drives me nuts. I see someone like, does this guy really understand how incredible of an entrepreneur they can make? But they're afraid they never do it.